English Standard 5 Lesson number 21 The Journey to the Great Oz. The Journey to the Great Oz is a classical novel for children written by Lyman Frank Baum. The Wizard of Oz is a well-known fantasy of children's literature. It tells the story of Dorothy, who is whisked with her dog Toto by the cyclone to the wonderful land of Oz. There, she meets the Tin Woodman, who needs a heart, the Scarecrow, who needs brains, and the Cowardly Lion, who needs bravery. They all want to see the Wizard of Oz, the only person who can help them. Here's an account of a part of their journey to the Emerald City of Oz, where the wizards live. Read The Wizard of Oz to find out what happens next. The Wizard of Oz was written by Lyman Frank Baum. In which year he was born? He was born in the year 1856 and he died in the year 1919. He has written many other books about Oz. This classic novel was also made into a movie. This was to be an eventful day for the travelers. Now, who are the travelers? Dorothy, Scarecrow, Tin Woodman, Toto, the dog, and the lion. These all five are the travelers. They had hardly been walking an hour when they saw before them a great ditch. Ditch is a long trench or pit dug into the ground. So they had hardly been walking for an hour when they saw before them a great ditch that crossed the road and divided the forest as far as they could see on other side. It was a very wide ditch, and when they crept up to the edge and looked into it, they could see it was also very deep, and there were many big jagged rocks at the bottom. Jagged means having a very sharply uneven edge or surface. Some big rocks which are pointed. The sides were so steep that none of them could climb down, and for a moment it seemed that their journey must end. "What shall we do?" asked Dorothy despairingly. Despairingly means showing the loss of all hope. "I haven't the faintest idea," said the Tin Woodman, and the lion shook his shaggy mane and looked thoughtful. Shaggy mane means long hair on his back of the neck of an animal. But the Scarecrow said, "We can't fly. We cannot fly. That is certain. We cannot fly. That is certain. Neither can we climb down into this great ditch. Therefore, if we cannot jump over it, we must stop where we are." "I think I could jump over it," said the Cowardly Lion. After measuring the distance carefully in his mind, "Then we are all right," answered the Scarecrow, "for you can carry us all over on your back, one at a time." "Well, I'll try it," said the lion. So they all were trying to cross the ditch. Who will go first? "I will," declared the Scarecrow. So Lion told, "Who will go first on my back?" So Scarecrow said, "I will," declared the Scarecrow. "For if you found that you could not jump over the gulf means a ditch, Dorothy would be killed or Tin Woodman badly dented on the rocks below if they will fall. But if I am on your back, it will not matter so much, for the fall would not hurt me at all." "I am terribly afraid of falling myself," said the Cowardly Lion. "But I suppose there is nothing to do but try it. So get on my back and we will make the attempt." The Scarecrow sat upon the lion's back, and the big beast walked to the edge of the gulf and crouched down. Crouched means bent down. "Why don't you run and jump?" asked the Scarecrow. "Because that isn't the way we lions do these things," he replied. Then, giving a great spring, he shot through the air and landed safely on the other side. They were all greatly pleased to see how easily he did it, and after the Scarecrow had got down from his back, the lion sprang across the ditch again. He went back again, the lion, to bring the other three. Dorothy thought that she would go next, so she took Toto in her arms and climbed on the lion's back, holding tightly to his mane with one hand. You can see it in the picture. The next moment, it seemed as if she were flying through the air, and then, before she had time to think about it, she was safe on the other side. The lion went back a third time and got the Tin Woodman, and then they all sat down for a few moments to give the beast a chance to rest. They gave a chance to a lion for resting, for his great leaps had made his breath short, and he panted like a big dog that has been running too long. Panted means breathe with short, quick breaths, or typically from exertion or excitement. They found the forest very thick on this side, and it looked dark and gloomy. Gloomy means dull. After the lion had rested, they started along the road of yellow brick, silently wondering, each in his own mind, if ever they would come to the end of the woods and reach the bright sunshine again. To add to their discomfort, they soon heard strange noises in the depths of the forest. And the lion whispered to them that it was in his part of a country that the Kalidas lived. "What are the Kalidas?" asked the girl. Dorothy asked, "What are the Kalidas?" So he replied, "They are monstrous beasts with body like bear and heads like tigers," replied the lion, "and with claws so long and sharp that they could tear me in 2 pieces easily as I could kill Toto. I am terribly afraid of Kalidas." "I am not surprised that you are," returned Dorothy. "They must be dreadful beasts." The lion was about to reply when suddenly they came to another gulf. There was a second ditch. Okay, gulf means a ditch, a big ditch across the road. But this one was so broad and deep that the lion knew at once he could not leap across it. The first ditch was very small, so they crossed it easily. But this ditch was very difficult and it was very broad and deep. So they sat down to consider what they should do, and after serious thought, the Scarecrow said, "Here is a great tree standing close to the ditch. If the Tin Woodman can chop it down so that it will fall to the other side, we can walk across it easily." Who gave this idea? The Scarecrow. The Scarecrow gave the idea of cutting the tree, of chopping the tree. "That is the first-rate idea," said the Lion. "One would almost suspect you had brains in your head instead of straw." The Woodman set to the work at once, and so sharp with his axe that the tree was soon chopped nearly through. Then the Lion put his strong front legs against the tree and pushed with all his might, and slowly the big tree tipped and fell with a crash across the ditch, with its top branches on the other side. They had just started to cross the square. The square means strange. The square bridge, strange bridge, when a sharp growl made them all look up, and to their horror, they saw running toward them two great beasts. You can see from behind how the beasts are coming, with bodies like bear and heads like tiger. "They are the Kalidas," said the Cowardly Lion, beginning to tremble. He was afraid. "Quick!" cried the Scarecrow. "Let us cross over." So Dorothy went first, holding Toto in her arms. The Tin Woodman followed, and the Scarecrow came next. The Lion, although was certainly afraid, turned to face the Kalidas, and then he gave so loud and terrible roar that Dorothy screamed and the Scarecrow fell over backward, while even the fierce beast stopped short and looked at him in surprise. But seeing they were bigger than the lion, those beasts were bigger than the lion, and remembering that there were two of them and only one of him, the Kalidas again rushed forward, and the lion crossed over the tree and turned to see what they would do next. Without stopping an instant, the fierce beast also began to cross the tree, and the lion said to Dorothy, what did he say to Dorothy? "We are lost, for they will surely tear us to pieces with their sharp claws." You can see their sharp claws. "But stand close behind me, and I will fight them as long as I am alive." "Wait a minute," called the Scarecrow. He had been thinking what was best to be done, and now he asked the Woodman to chop away the end of the tree that rested on their side of the ditch. The Tin Woodman began to use his axe at once, and just as the two Kalidas were nearly across, the tree fell with a crash into the gulf, into the ditch, carrying the ugly snarling brutes with it. So those two Kalidas fell into that ditch, and both were dashed into pieces on the sharp rocks at the bottom. "Well," said the Cowardly Lion, drawing a long breath of relief. They got a big sigh of relief. Those two Kalidas were dead. I see we are going to live a little while longer, and I am glad of it, for it must be a very uncomfortable thing not to be alive. Those creatures frightened me so badly that my heart is beating yet. Ah, said the Tin Woodman sadly, I wish I had a heart to beat. The woodman was not having a heart. This adventure made the travelers more anxious than ever to get out of the forest, and they walked so fast that Dorothy became tired and had to ride on the lion's back. To their great joy, the trees became thinner the farther they advanced, and in the afternoon they suddenly came upon a broad river flowing swiftly just before them. On the other side of the water, they could see the road of yellow brick running through a beautiful country with green meadows dotted with bright flowers, and all the road bordered with trees hanging full of delicious fruits, very tasty fruits. They were greatly pleased to see this delightful country before them. So, children, I hope you all have understood this wonderful story. So, children, here are certain question answers given behind this chapter. Complete these question answers in your notebook, and in between the chapter there are meanings given, so you can write down the meanings in your notebook first. Thank you.